Maybe let's tell everybody a bit where we are. Like, what is the next step? If you don't want to just be in the Facebook group, we also have something we call the Inner Circle membership, which is a low-priced membership where we actually go into the foundation and beyond the foundation. We always bridge the gap between Gene Keys and human design. So you're always going to have both perspectives. For us, it's the same transmission, just explained in a little bit of a different way. So when you look at both human design and Gene Keys, you get a very holistic view, and you are able to see things that you can't see with just one system or the other. And we're starting a journey that's going to be, I think it's 9 or 10 months, where we're going into the centers. In traditional human design, this would be living your design. It's when you learn about all the centers, the openness, that when you have the center defined or undefined, you learn a little bit about the gate. We are going beyond that. We are actually entering through the body. We're looking at also the Hindu chakra system, which is part, of course, of what human design is. But human design is the development of the human being into a 9-centered being. But that doesn't mean that you don't have a root chakra anymore. That doesn't mean that the color red and some of the frequencies that you can use to activate your root chakra aren't relevant. They are. So what we are wanting to do is to really include the body, because what we have seen with both human design and Gene Keys is that it often becomes this thing in your head that you think about and that you are interested in, but it doesn't really come down into the body. It doesn't really change completely how you live your life, and often it's actually changes for the worse. You kind of have those excuses to behave in a way, because of course you have that 38, of course you're going to be stubborn, and then you continue to kind of bang your head against the wall. And we want to play with those gates, Gene Keys as archetypes, so that we can put on the costume, but we can also take off the costume and decide, this doesn't define me. I don't have to be attached to this gate or this archetype. It doesn't define me completely. So yeah, actually, do you want to tell them a little bit about the journey and maybe the masterclass, how they can kind of understand?
Yeah. So with a link to the form that you can fill out to get the basics of the Gene Keys and human design, it also takes you to the Thrive by Design Masterclass, which is our area of inquiry inside the inner circle. And we are going into the body graph to see how your energy flows. You're going to look at your own human design body graph. And like Bella said, we're entering in through the body. We've been in the root this month, and we'll continue to be in the root. And every month we go into a different center. And so it's interesting because this month we're going into the root in the inner circle, and then we're kind of in the throat we are in the throat in our Business by Design class. So it seems like for us, because we're facilitating and we're in both groups, and there are some people that are in both, it seems like we're bridging between the root and the throat, which doesn't have a connection. You don't have a direct connection between the throat and the root. So like, how do you bring the root to the throat, and how do you express that grounding, that stability? And you know, when you are speaking and you're speaking from your mind, or you're speaking from your understanding, it's kind of like this downward journey where you're like, okay, I'm thinking about it and I'm pushing it out. But the true embodiment journey is when you've kind of walked it, you've lived it, and what you're sharing is actually coming from the root to the base upwards, and you're sharing that grounding, you're sharing that embodiment. And so this is the journey that we're going on. And even when we get to the crown at the end, we're still connecting it to the root, because this is all holistic and it's all connected, whether it has channels to it or not. We want you to be able to even like compress them all into the heart. Like they're all meant to be merged into one, because that's where we began from. And it's through separation that we developed this whole system. So I think that what we're doing now is communicating this sense of foundation. And this is where we start. And this is how you're meant to express, is from this embodied soul place, instead of this like downward out thing, which it's all fine, it's all beautiful, but like real power and real presence and real assurance comes from that lived experience.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think about root, grounding, like primal nature, and then the throat. For me, there is a creativity that lies there, where I feel those two centers kind of working with each other in a primal way, in an essential way, in an alive way. And it has a lot to do with this primal expression, with this creative expression that's there. So for sure, you know, there is something creative in what we're doing. And I think that what we are doing in Unlock Your Design and with our groups, it is to go from teaching those systems. I mean, we have a lot of time studying these systems and kind of our method of sharing them, which is bridging the gap. But what I see more and more is that we are not so interested in teaching the systems. We are interested in the embodiment of this transmission that can actually transform your life. And that's the Scorpio energy we are in now. It's all about transformation. It's all about diving deep. I'm not so interested in knowing that I have certified so and so many people in some system. You know, that doesn't make me feel like I'm satisfied and that I have done anything important. But if I know that you come and you work with us, with the throat center, with the root center, with the creativity, with whatever it is that you come for, and then you go back into your life, and that day there is a spark of something different than that you wouldn't have had if you didn't interact with us, then I'm going to feel really satisfied, because that's what I wish for us, to connect and to spark new things, new insights, new epiphanies, new creativity, more embodiment. And like Ashley say, coming from that grounded place out into the world, because when you're walking in the world from a grounded place, from a stable place of inner strength, then so much can change. And there is so much, there is so many things, there are so many things changing, and there is so much pressure from the outside of different things. So I think the most important thing for us right now is to be grounded in that place, so that we can be sovereign as we are walking in the world. And human design and gene keys are those systems that allow us to come back into sovereignty and have this inner sense of authority. Inner authority is everything. There's no outer authority that works. Even the mind is too far away from your inner authority. So don't even think about going, beyond to the outside of yourself and taking that in as your authority. That's never going to make you have a life that is easy and peaceful and fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think that with these systems, what it also gives is like not only the sovereignty, but the awareness of who you are and the understanding of who you are, because we could search and search and search for things that are going to make us happy, but nothing makes us happy than like living that fully expressed, fulfilled life and being yourself in the world and expressing yourself in the world, right? Having that true expression, that unfiltered expression without restrictions, without boundaries, without expectations placed on it. You're out there being you. And that's what's fulfilling. But I think that there's so much emphasis placed on, if I have this, then I'll be happy. If I make this much money, then I'll be happy. If this and that. And that's giving your power and authority outside, external, like Bella was just saying. It's about inner authority. And this is an inner journey into your inner space. And once you have that, and once you are connected to that abundance, then it's holographic. What you're feeling inside is going to be reflected outside. So that's why these systems are really powerful. And that's why we, through this understanding, this understanding, we get to unlock our design and then project it outwards, where we're getting to experience and interact with these places that we're owning in ourselves. And it's beautiful. And that's what I hope to be able to, bring to everyone that I touch, because that was my question. Who am I? I'm not happy. I did this, and this, and I'm not happy. And what's happening? So I think I'm getting to that place of like inner fulfillment, by getting to be me and sharing this, so that other people don't have to walk around the world wondering who they are, or not even knowing that they could discover who they are, just like meeting the status quo or answering the expectations or projections of other people and being like, oh, I'm supposed to be this. Okay. I just want everyone to just wake up to the beauty of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. So the link is in the comments, and like Ashley said, the fastest way probably to get in touch with us is on the Facebook page, Unlock Your Design. We do our best to reply to you there. and check out our academy. We have a lot of resources. It doesn't require you to come at a certain time and be on a live call every week, but things that you can do on your own, especially when it comes to diving in to maybe just the 4 gates of your incarnation cross, and to get a better understanding of that. So there's a lot of things that you can kind of just pick ad hoc to make your own kind of combination of what it is that you want to learn and understand.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you more inside of this group, and have a good week. And also good luck exploring your inner space. Bye.